Now we're going to move on to multi-step inequalities. These are basically very similar to two-step equations and things we've done earlier this year. For this first one, I would subtract 7. I'm trying to hold my paper so you can see it, sorry. And I would get negative 3x is greater than or equal to 9. Divide by negative 3. Remember, when the number associated to the variable is negative, when I write my answers, I need to take the opposite or flip the inequality sign. I will have a closed circle at 3, shading to the left because x is all numbers less than negative 3. I'm going to skip down to the third problem. Another two-step equation. I would subtract 3 from both sides. X over 4 is less than or equal to negative 4. X is part of the fraction, therefore it is division, so I need to multiply. And I get x is less than or equal to negative 16. That does not fit on the number line I provided you, so I'll just make my own negative 16. I would have a closed circle. All numbers less than that are to the left. I would like you to pause the video and complete this problem, and these two. So I'd like you to do this one, and those two. Please pause the video. Thank you for pausing the video. Okay. On this one, I subtracted 9, and then I divided by 11. I got negative 3 less than x. I rewrote that as x is greater than negative 3. I was pointing at the negative 3 here. I'm still pointing at the negative 3 here. Open circle, shading to the right. The next problem I asked you to do, I subtracted 5 from both sides and got 4. The variable is part of the fraction, and I was very careful not to lose my subtraction or negative sign. To undo that, I had to multiply by negative 2. So I then realized I need to flip the inequality because I multiplied by negative 2. So my real answer is x is greater than negative 8. Be very careful. That will also change my number line. Now I need to shade to the right. Okay, here we go. Checking my next one. I added 7 to both sides, got 12. The 2/5 is not, or the variable is not part of the 2/5, so that means it's multiplication. I divided, and I ended with x is less than or equal to 30. This one, subtracted 5, keeping my negative or subtraction sign there. I flipped my inequality, but to write it so the variable is on the left, x is greater than negative 4. Now we're going to move on to two-step equations. We've done these before with equal signs. I will subtract 3x, 2x plus 8 is greater than negative 12. Be very careful with the negative sign. Subtract 8 from both sides. 2x is greater than negative 20. Divide by 2, x is greater than negative 10. Again, it doesn't matter if you bring your variables right or left. I was always taught to move them to the left, so out of habit, I do that. It does not matter at all. So I'm going to subtract 4x from both sides, and I get negative 11x minus 9 is less than or equal to 53. I'm going to add 9 to both sides. Negative 11x is less than or equal to 62. What a yucky math problem. I'll divide by negative 11, divide by negative 11. I'm going to leave it in that form. So x is now greater than or equal to negative 62 over 11. In your assignments, you will get nice digits. I'm going to turn the page. Now we're working into more complex, but they're really not complex. If we were in class, you would hear me say 1,000 times how much I don't like fractions. I know how to do math with fractions. That isn't the problem. I just don't like them. So I am going to get rid of the denominator of 4. To do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by 4. We know whatever you do to one side of the inequality or equal sign, as long as you do it to the other, you'll get the same answer. Well, that lets me get rid of the denominator. So I would have 2x minus 8 is less than or equal to negative 40. Now I have a very straightforward two-step equation. So I'm going to add 8 to both sides. So 2x is less than negative 32. Divide by 2, I get negative 16. X is less than or equal to negative 16. Let's try the one right to the right again. Not that we can't do fractions. I just really like to get rid of them. So to do that, I'm going to multiply both sides by negative 2. Paying very close attention again. If I multiply both sides by negative 2, I need to flip the inequality sign. Now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Negative 21 is less than 3x. Divide by 3, I get negative 7 is less than x. Knowing that the answers need to be written like this, I'm going to switch them around. X is greater than negative 7. Notice I was pointing at the negative 7. I'm still pointing there. I would like you to pause the video. Try this one by yourself. Pause the video, please. Okay. I have multiplied both sides by 3 to get rid of the denominator. I did not flip the inequality. Even though this 18 is negative, the negative number is not associated or attached to the variable, so you do not flip the inequality. Continuing on, I subtract 6 from both sides, divide by 5. I ended with negative 12 is greater than or equal to x. Rewrote that as x is less than or equal to negative 12. Continuing with just multi-step equations, we have done this before, but with equal signs. Nothing really has changed. First, I will do some distributing. So 7x plus 6x minus 8 is greater than or equal to 8x plus 12. So we distribute first. After we distribute, I like to combine like terms on one side of the equal sign. Nothing to combine here, but what I notice on the left-hand side of the inequality, I have 13 x's in all. Now we are down to questions we did on our prior page. I will subtract 8x, subtract 8x, and I get 5x minus 8 is greater than or equal to 12. I'm running out of room. I would add 8 to both sides to get 5x is greater than or equal to 20. divide by 5, and I get x is greater than or equal to 4. I am going to challenge you to do the next 2 problems. So pause the video, solve the next 2, we'll compare answers. Please pause the video. Thank you for pausing the video. As I worked this out, I distributed, realizing that is a -1 that needs to be distributed to everything here. I combined like terms on the left, combined like terms on the right, moved my variables left, continue to solve. I end at x is less than -11. On the second problem I asked you to do, I distributed the -4. I got a +4 here. Distributed the 3. Moved variables to the left. Moved constants to the right. I did flip the inequality sign because we are dividing by a -11. Negative divided by negative is positive.